Yo, what is going on YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Today we've got patch notes for Season 10 and I am excited. I'm really excited. It was great playing on this map. I was one of the first people if you didn't know. I won too. I'm jumping right in because I'm excited. What are we starting with? Skins? Let's get to the meat and bones. January 24th. Quality of life. Okay, new season structure. 2023 will be known as year 10, not season 10. Within year 10, there will be 4 seasons. Each season will be launched with a major gameplay update and heavy changes to the Conquest map. Okay, so there's no longer a player cap. I looked at mine, and I'm not even level 200 yet. And Nika, I think, is like 260 or something like that. So nobody's even close to this. I don't think anybody's ever going to be coming close to this. Spend your viewer points in 10.1. Bug fixes. Don't particularly care about these. Game modes. Conquest. With 10.1, we're launching an entirely new Conquest map. This map draws artistic inspiration from closed beta in Season 2. So they might even change the pathing a little bit too. And they want to create snowballing outside of just killing the enemy. New Fire Giant character as Surtur has graduated into godhood. A new FG character will be replacing him. The Fire Giant is the same attacks the previous FG did, but has an all-new arena that allows players to fight it from all 360 degrees. It makes a massive entrance display in the area outside Soul Lane before it spawns. Balanced, increased scaling health from 275 to 3. Oh my. Oh, okay. So now crit is only 20% effective to it, which is pretty big because a lot of your kill potential on this comes from crit. That's actually not a bad change at all. Pyro now drops a new reward. The Runic Bomb can be picked up by like a jungle buff only by someone from the team who dealt the last hit to the Pyromancer. Fills a consumable spot and can be placed later by using that slot and selecting a ground area. Deals 300 physical damage to gods and applies knockback. 1,000 damage to minions and structures. Structures hit by the Runic Bomb are also debuffed with 35% reduced attack speed. Instead of being a way to get out of base, it's now a way to push objectives, which is pretty cool. Okay, I removed all that stuff. Lane objectives. All 6 tier 1 towers on the map will now have 2 shield-shaped tower bastions objectives in the tower radius. While alive, they provide the tower 15% mitigation each, so 30% when both are alive. They can be destroyed with anything, abilities or basic attacks, and they spawn at the end of the setup phase. When destroyed, they provide 50 gold to allies in the area with normal camp gold sharing rules. Only in the area. So it's 75 gold reward in the area. Totem of Ku is now just called the Totem. While active, gods increase 10% damage to minions and other gods. Instant global sack of its buff reward to teammates when the totem is claimed. Applied to teammates near to the totem. The totem is now also only local. So that's 2 things that used to be global are now local. All the towers are weaker now though. 2100 to 1600. It makes pushing tier 1 towers actually a lot easier. 500 health is no joke. Tier 2 tower is basically the same. Phoenix is basically the same. No big changes here. 36 to 34, 30 or 3000 to 2900. It's whatever. So if you guys watch the Worlds thing, basically you can have jungle camps permanently unleashed. The only thing that leashes them is a auto attack. If they stop getting auto attacked, they reset back to where they were. They'll chase gods. After 10 seconds, they'll attempt to flee, but can be re-engaged by dealing any damage. Camp timers will linger on the ground until the next camp spawns in that location. If unleashed, they will drop at the location the monster was killed and remain for 30 seconds before being relocated to the camp spawn point where the buff can still be picked up for 90. So the buff that you get drops where the monster dies. And instead of only being able to be picked up for 30 seconds, it can be picked up for 30 seconds where it was dropped and then 90 seconds back where it spawned. Okay. There's two new stacking buffs, duo side Scorpion Camp and solo side Scorpion Camp. Duo side camp gives you a shield to 50 health plus 20 per level. And 5 protections plus 1 per level. Holy cow. Oh, I guess it's just a one-time buff. And then silver buff grants 5% cooldown and then 0.75% per level. Roaming harpies spawn every 60 seconds from the dead back harpy camps. Up to a maximum of 2 roaming harpies per camp can be alive at a time. And they spawn within the camp or roam nearby jungle pass. Cyclops rogues. At the start of the match, a rogue stash will spawn near a random jungle camp. Spawn locations are always symmetric for both teams. So it spawns solo side, blue buff area. It'll spawn solo side, blue buff area, not purple buff. It'll spawn symmetrically, not like mirrored. Opening a stash awards 25 gold, but they're also trapped and will spawn a Cyclops rogue. The rogue awards 25 gold. So basically it's just another camp. You get 20% movement speed and it lasts for 60 seconds. Holy cow. That is insane. Every third set of stashes are trapped and will spawn Cyclops rogues upon opening. After all, so you have to destroy both stashes before it respawns. It will not be shown on mini maps, and it's also present on all the maps. Mid harpy camps have been removed. Purple buff no longer has a protection debuff. Increases attack speed by 10%. Magic basic attack by 15, physical attack damage by 12. So it no longer has flat pen. It gives you extra basic attack damage and attack speed. So instead of having it help your allies, it only helps yourself. And it only helps with your auto attacks. Red buff is unchanged. Green buff. Remove the ability for this buff to freeze other buff belts and added the HP5 from the enhanced version. So you basically just get health and HP 5 now. Speed is now 2 speed buffs instead of 1. The buff does not stack with itself. Wait. They changed this. They said it was able to be stacked. So you can't even stack the buffs anymore. That's a little weird. No longer any cooldown on the blue buff. You now get mana. Each time you hit an enemy god with ability, you gain. So the mana problems you never had before also still don't exist. So you will never have a problem with mana. Buff camps are spawning at 0. Delayed respawn timer from 2. Oh, instead of spawning every 2 minutes, it spawns every 2.5. Back harpy spawn at 0. Respawn timer from 1 minute to 4 minutes. Holy Contestable camps spawn at 1:30. Spawn every minute and a half. Oracles spawn from 10 and reduced respawn timer from 3 to 2 minutes. 10 minutes and it spawns every 4 minutes. Gold Fury spawns every 4 minutes now. Oh my. So Pyro, Gold Fury, and Fire Giant all have a minute off of their respawn timers, which is kind of crazy. Base doors no longer apply Invader's Curse and increase the found speed buff duration from 5 to 10. Ranked. Let's go. It's ranked. This is the important part. To award God frames based on position. Okay. I don't particularly care about this, but you can now get Master's Borders. Woo! Ranked is now going to get a hard reset and it will be fully cross-played. There is still going to be an MMR cap, unfortunately. Normal modes will have their queue system changed to 9 timed queues. Ranked will remain time. Okay. These queues will no longer have specific duration shown to players. Multi-queue will be enabled on normal queues. Yeah, I don't like this, but I'm not really a more casual player, so I don't like this. That's lame. Shards. So the old Vision Shards, there's now 4 other ones. Horn Shard. Your non-ultimate abilities cooldowns are reduced by 0.5. So this is kind of like the med. For every second, you get 0.5 seconds off. The last 3 seconds, you get 1.5 seconds off your cooldown. And this is only non-ultimate ability cooldowns. Claw Shard is you gain magical power, physical power per level, magical lifesteal, and physical ability lifesteal for the next 3 seconds. Wing Shard is you get movement speed and attack speed for 3 seconds. Attack speed 40%. Carapace, you steal magical and physical protections for the next enemy god hit. And then Vision. So this is like the summary part of it. They want to just change up the builds, make them fresh. Item passive goals are different, and then hybrid items are removed, basically. Actual passives for anti-heal items. Reworking current items that have a clear theme but feel more like stat sticks with incidental passives. Okay. So just making items make more sense. And then identify the least exciting and least popular items for each role. Went through the entire item store and adjusted stats of item to be more clearly aligned to the stats their tree is defined by. Okay. Removed items. RIP Height of the Urchin. All right. Hybrid items reworked. Starting with Druid Stone. 600 gold, you get 15 prots of each and 50 health for 600 gold. Height of the Urchin tier 1 used to be 650 gold and it was 10 protections of each and no health. Sage's Stone. 1400 gold, you get twice as much health and you get 10 extra protections. So this is a really good tier 1. This is a pretty average up to tier 2. Stone of Binding is now a tier 3 item. Gives you 40 protections of each, 250 health. Successfully hitting an enemy god with crowd control ability will place a debuff on them, reducing their physical and magical protections by 5 plus 1 per level for 5 seconds. So usually supports sit around level 15. So you'll be having about 20 flat pen given to your teammates. Very, very good. 2,300 gold. I guess nothing else in the tree is affected. Round Shield rework. 650 gold, 5 physical protection, 10 HP 5. What a horrible tier 1. Absolutely horrible. Holy. The 10 HP 5 is not that bad, but you're getting less physical protections than you used to have, and you're losing power, all the power you used to have. So this is going to be a bad tier 1 to have, I think. Unless there's a starter you can combo with it. Maybe something like Bluestone in this gives you a lot more HP 5s, a little bit of physical protection. Bluestone allows you to clear. Maybe that's kind of where they're trying to combo this with. Tower Shield tier 2, 1150 gold, 15 protections, 15 HP 5. Doesn't seem very good either. Berserker Shield, 60 physical protections. So you're losing the power on Burrs. You're getting 10 more protections. You're getting 150 health. I think you're getting 5% attack speed because I think this was 20. I might be wrong. And then you're keeping the same HP 5. Gain 10% This used to be 7% mitigation and 0% attack speed. That seems good. That seems really good. Maybe a bit expensive. You're getting no power from this. So this is basically just a tank item now. That you think of this in the same vein you think of Sov, Nemean, Breastplate. Oh, and this is below 50%, not 40%. Good call. Okay. Gladshield. 2,300 gold. You get 10 extra protections. You're getting no health. You're gaining 25 HP 5, keeping the cooldown. Protections from items and abilities can only trigger once per enemy. And then this is the biggest thing. Subsequent hits on the same target do half the bonus damage for the next 3 seconds. That is pretty big of a nerf. I think they know this item ran season 9. And so they're nerfing it a little bit because they actually gave it a little cost reduction too. They're nerfing it a little bit and then they're bringing up all these other items. So, and it's 35% instead of 30%. Frostbound, 2,400 gold, 30 power, 350 health, HP 5 and MP 5. Your next basic attack on an enemy god creates a 30-unit shockwave of frost around them, slowing the movement speed and attack speed of enemy gods in the area by 25% for 3 seconds. This makes it so you can kind of beads it, and then you're good for the next 10 seconds. You beads Frostbound before, and you're kind of getting messed up by it. I know it doesn't work on ranged gods. It only works on melees, but I think this is a pretty decent nerf to the passive of Frostbound, but you're getting better stats and a slight cost increase. So I don't know. This doesn't seem that good, but maybe it is because it's your next basic attack. So this is no longer like an auto attack item. It's basically just anyone who wants to have a slow and extra CC in their kit. Runeforged, 35 power, 250 health, 15 HP 5, 20 MP 5, slightly more expensive. Actually, pretty big nerf to Runeforged across the entire item. Your next hard CC on an enemy god creates a runic symbol on the ground that lasts for 5 seconds. Enemies in the symbol take 10% more damage. Depending on how good or how big this aura or this ground area is, this could be really good. This could be really, really good, but it all depends on how big it is. 10% is not a ton of extra damage, but it's nice. Caduceus Club. Moved to Cudgel Tree Building from Heavy Hammer. Renamed to Caduceus Club. 2,500 gold, 30 power, 250 health, 20 MP5. So this item no longer has protections. Passive is unchanged. This item stinks. This item is now where Asclepius is, and Asclepius stinks. So this item stinks. Anti-heal items changed. Divine Rune with a massive cost increase, 350 gold, same stats, 110 power, 15 pen. Enemies hit by your abilities have 40% reduced healing for 5 seconds, and your next successful damaging ability on an enemy triggers a chain lightning, damaging the target and up to 4 nearby enemies for 40 damage, plus 20% of your magical power. Oh my, that is a massive buff. You're paying an extra 350 gold for a Soul Reaver that can chain to enemies, and it's a percentage of your magical power. It's bad on tanks, but it's very, very good on mid mages, ADC mages, whatever you're playing. When you're building damage, it's going to be very good. 20-second cooldown is also a lot less than Soul Reaver used to be. Soul Reaver used to be 40 seconds. Brawlers, another big cost increase. Getting a killer assist on an enemy god creates a field that provides allies within it 10 power plus 2 per level. Like a war flag or war banner or Spartan flag, whichever is the bad one. Whenever something is getting a kill or an assist and it's only within an area for 3 or 250 extra gold, this one seems worth the 350 gold increase. This, I don't think even you want the 250 gold. I think you'd rather have it be 2350 gold and then not have this second part. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how it feels. Toxic Blade, 200 extra gold, decreased pen, have 5% reduced attack speed while you gain... Wait. Slightly statted worse, more expensive, 60% attack speed reduction, 20% attack speed reduction, and then you're getting 20% attack speed, but it has really bad stats. This seems really strong, but this item gives no power. This item is just attack speed, movement speed, and pen. Well, we'll see. Having no protections or no power feels not too great. Oh, and it has a little bit of health. Pesty. Do they make Pesty something good? 150 gold, not bad. This does not stack with similar auras. Have their healing reduced by 5% for 3 seconds. Stack up to 6 times. That is worth a buy. They did it. This is sick. This is perfect. This is literally perfect. Absolutely perfect tank anti-heal item. Absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10. Probably one of the best changes in the patch so far. But we haven't made it too far. But I assume Contagion is the same thing. Oh, what the? When you're hit by hard crowd control, the enemy receives an aura that deals 40 magical damage per second to them. Bro, if you buy this against like Kabrakan, he's killing himself. He's ticking you for 7 and you're getting ticked for 40. You buy this against like Hunbots now and you're just going to kill Hunbots? I don't know. I don't know about this one. This one, 10 out of 10. Perfect. Pesty, fantastic item. Contagion, I don't know. Wingblade rework. So this, busted. When hit by a slow, you and nearby allies within 30 units become immune to slows and gain 20% increased movement speed for 4 seconds. You and nearby allies. Gem. Any subsidiary damaging abilities will move 30% slower for 2.5 seconds, and this can only occur every 10 seconds. Another really good change. Gem of Iso is no longer a meme. This is actually an item you can pick up, and it's useful. The cost of it and the stats of it are still in question, but This passive is a big buff to the passive. Spectral, extra 200 gold. When you're hit by a critical strike, you and allies within 55% units take an additional... Guys, we don't need aura crit strike reduction. It's not needed. I promise you, it is not needed. What the absolute heck? That's for you, Mario. You told me not to swear. I think I swore a couple times. But I would be absolutely baffled if hunters are building crit with this in the game as it currently stands. This is giving you 60% crit strike reduction to yourself and 20% to allies. I don't like this. It might not be as OP reading it a second time because you have to get crit for it to stack up. But if you're diving with Spectral and your enemy hunter has ADC, or the enemy hunter has crit, and your jungler is diving with you and you're just getting crit a couple times, and then the jungler dives in and this guy's just got 20% auto attack reduction by the enemy hunter when he's playing a full damage assassin, like... I don't know. They really neutered crit so far. This and then Fire Giant taking 20% less crit damage. Demon Blade. So Demon Blade is the new Wind Demon. They worsened the name, unfortunately. Wind Demon is an absolute bad name. Demon Blade is like edgy. So Hidden Dagger now builds from Short Sword. 25 power, 20% attack speed, 20% crit chance. Critical hits provide you with 10% pen and increase your attack speed by 10%. So you don't get movement speed anymore. So just a small nerf to this item. And this is it. This is one of the best changes in the entire patch. No longer is Shield of Regrowth. Absolutely weird. 2100 gold, 55 protections, 300 mana, MP5, 10% cooldown, and the same passive. This is the biggest part. Keeping the 10% cooldown is the biggest part with the protection. So 10 out of 10. This item is going to be busted. Guaranteed busted. Lotus Sickle. No longer Lotus Crown. Move to the Ancient Blade Tree. 2000 gold, 25 physical protections, 300 health, 10% cooldown. 10% cooldown is not bad. Movement speed. And the passive is unchanged. Feels bad for the stats to get changed so much. But now you're getting health in this item. You're getting protections. You're getting protections when you use your abilities. You're getting movement speed. You're getting cooldown. Also pointed out that it's no longer a power item, so physicals can build this. But 25 physical protection is pretty low. But if you think about gods like Guan, a 2000 gold item that is giving him 25 protections and then physical and magical protections when he heals. Also health, also cooldown, also movement speed. Like gods like Guan. I think Sylve will be really good with this still. Terra still will be good with this because of how cheap it is. It's actually really cheap. The health is huge too. I don't know. This is, we'll see. We'll see. Cleric's Cloak, both protection. No way. They're giving cooldown to Magi's men. No way. Remove the health is actually pretty big. Okay, I didn't see that right away. Let's see this. 30 protections of each, removed the health, added 10% cooldown. All in all, I think this is a bit of a nerf for the item. Having no HP is probably a lot worse than the 10% cooldown. This just makes items or builds where you don't go Jotuns feel a little bit better if you want to have like a Magi's. So I think it's a nerf to some of the items, nerf to some of the builds, and a buff to some builds. So we'll have to see. Added 50 mana. So this item, it got worse. This item's been nerfed like 3 times. This item is terrible. 100 mana. Okay. Added 200 mana, remove the MP5. Okay. So Hydra's just got nerfed. Cyclopean Ring. 2600 gold, 80 power, 25% attack speed, 10% cooldown. Your next basic attack against an enemy god deals bonus magical damage equal to 8% of the target's maximum health. It can only affect every 10 seconds. Reduced by 2 seconds for each successful basic... To be fair, this now gives magical hunters a way to kill frontliners because Freya had a little bit of a problem with that. Kronos is literally building full power because this item is just, or all rings were just bad. This might not be too bad at all. This might not be too bad at all. Tablet of Destinies. 2650 gold, 90 power. Really low on power for some reason. I don't know why they want magical items to be so low power. 150 health, 300 mana. Your next successful damaging ability on enemy god grants a stack of wisdom. For each stack of wisdom you have, your abilities deal maximum mana as true damage to enemy gods. So now poke gods have a way to poke with a lot of threat. Like Thoth, a lot of threat. It might be hard to stack unless you're Thoth. This is 4%. 4% of your max mana. If you stack this with Book of Thoth gets you to like 3k. 4% of 3k. You're doing like 120 true damage to enemy gods per hit. Actually going to be good on solo laners because this is max mana as true damage. And they get stacks really easily. This is pretty good for solo mages. Actually pretty good for solo mages. All right, Bladed Boomerang. 2600 gold, 40 power, 50% attack speed, 20 crit chance. Not great stats, but okay. Your next basic attack on an enemy god creates a deployable that when picked up provides you with 4% movement speed and 10% crit chance. This stacks up to 3 times. So this actually gives you a viable way to build just 2 crit items. This and Deathbringer puts you at 85% crit chance and 55% crit chance before getting the stacks. I don't think this is going to be good unless you actually need this crit chance here. If you go like Xe, Bladed Boomerang, and Deathbringer, seems like a really good 3-man combo. If you buy this on Mercury, the stacks, if you auto somebody, the stacks or whatever they're called, the deployable thing drops right on top of you. So Mercury doesn't even have to pick it up. He can just auto you down, getting extra crit chance every time he hits you and extra movement speed. Shadow Drinker, the Invis one. This one's exciting. I'm really excited to see this one plays. This is in the Katana Tree, stone cutting ones like that. 50 power, 10 physical pen, 7% movement speed. Killing an enemy god drains their shadow, causing you to enter stealth and gain 30% movement speed for 3 seconds. Taking damage, firing an ability, or firing a basic attack breaks the stealth. My problem with this one is I don't know where exactly or who exactly would want to rush this item. Maybe Mercury is like the one, but a lot of the time, gods need Golden Blade. Golden Blade is just absolutely busted. Unless there's a nerf to Golden Blade, I don't see a reason that this is like built. It doesn't have cooldown, so even gods that go in, assassins need cooldown. They need cooldown. Almost every assassin will rush a cooldown item or they will go an anti-heal item. That's like the 2 things that they'll do. Building this means you get no cooldown. Building this means you get no Golden Blade aura. Building this means 2,300 gold towards an item that doesn't really make you do much damage late game. It's like an early game slanted item, so you want to get it early. I don't know exactly where this item would be slotted. I think maybe if this was 10% pen, it'd be item you could go late game. We'll see. Dawnbringer. 2,600 gold, 40 physical power, 300 health, 20% CCR. When your ultimate is finished casting, your protections and movement speed are increased by 5% for each enemy god within 55 units of you for the next 6 seconds. The Arthurian tree won't be the only one that's tied to an ultimate. Seems super expensive. 2,600 gold. I don't know who'd even want this. A prot increase on an item that doesn't give any prots, that's also 2,600 gold. Maybe as like a finishing item, you go at like last, but it's not good early. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Absolution in the Talisman tree, building from silver. Talisman, 2,250 gold, 60 protections, 250 health, 10% CCR. When your ultimate ability is finished casting, you pulse out a cleansing aura. CC immunity for 0.6 seconds. So if I'm playing Geb, and the enemy team has a Dodgy, and Dodgy ults 5 of my teammates, all 5 of us, or 4 of my teammates and me, can ult, cleansing everyone. That's, I don't know exactly how great this will be, but it seems like it's very good against some gods. Like if Hunbats is like blink ulting your backline, I'll trade ult for that for my entire team to just live the ult. I guess 50 units is also pretty wide. Abyssal Stone, Druid Stone Tree building from Sages to... Wasn't this at the top? This is the first item we looked at. 40 protections of each, 300 health. Successfully damaging an enemy god applies a debuff that afflicts him with 40 or 20% negative CDR for 4 seconds. Definitely a solo item. 100% a solo item. That seems to smoke gods like King Arthur, Ardeo, Tyr, Odin, and it's statted well. It might be a bit expensive, but maybe it's good as a counter item, as like a second item. I don't think it's anything you'd ever rush. Druids Fury. 2,500 gold, 35 protections of each, 300 health. Okay, this is the best item in the entire patch. Unless they changed the numbers from the map, this item was different. It was different. Gain a stack up to 6. Each time you take damage from an enemy god equal to 5% of your maximum health. Your next basic attack on an enemy god consumes all stacks and deals 30 plus 2 per level true damage per stack every 15 seconds. When I played this on the map, there was no cap. There's no cap to this. So they nerfed the item a little bit, but that is a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Phalanx. Building from Tower Shield, so this is the Gladshield Tree. 55 protections, 150 health, 20 HP 5, 10 CCR. When you are basic attacked by an enemy god, friendly minions within 40 units gain a stack up to a max of 3. Stacks provide 20% attack speed and 15 of each prot and last for 6 seconds. You cannot... This seems so lame. This seems so incredibly... lame. I'm not vibing with this. This is either going to be absolutely busted or it's going to be absolutely useless. I think this is going to be busted early game and then late game it's going to be useless. Prophetic Cloak, the other really good idea or really good item. 2350 gold, 25 protections of ETH, 150 health, 20% cooldown reduction. Once every 10 seconds, when you damage an enemy god with an attack, you gain a stack of 2 protections in an aura that corresponds with the damage type of the target. Once you have reached 15 stacks of both protections, this item evolves, giving you mitigation based on your total protection. So, stack of 2 protections in an aura, 15 stacks. This item will be giving you a 30 protection aura to you and your allies, while also giving you mitigation, 20% cooldown, and it's only 2350 gold. This item is so busted. It's crazy. 55 protections of each. So once it's evolved, 30 magical and physical protections. If you have over 400 total protections, you gain 10% mitigation. If you have over 600 total protections, you gain an additional 10% damage mitigation. Okay. All right. Thank goodness I play support because that role or that item busted. Cannoneers, Curious, I don't know. Emerald Mail, 30 protections of each, 2250 gold, 300 health, 20 HP 5. Your next successful basic attack on an enemy lane minion causes it to explode, instantly killing it, dealing 50 plus 5 per level, magical damage to enemies in a small area, providing 25 bonus gold to your nearest ally. Another one that seems actually pretty good. Increased additional magical power scaling from 1 to 1.5. It's now 30%. Still bad. Don't buy it. This item is terrible. It is literally terrible. It is absolutely useless. Do not build this item ever. Any god ever. Okay, unless you're playing Nuwa. If you're playing Nuwa, you can build this. Anyone else, do not build this item. It is so bad. Gemma Focus. Increased movement speed from 3 to 5% per stack. And increased damage, increased buff from 3 to 5% per stack. Stacks 3 times. This gives you 15% movement speed and 15% damage increase. This one gives you 30% on one ability that takes 20 seconds to stack. Even removing the damage mitigation, it doesn't matter. You can remove the movement speed from this item and this item would still be better. This item is absolutely busted. Actually, I take it back. If you're playing Nuwa, use your 1, use your 2, use your 3, and then ult. You'll get 55% increased damage to every single item in your stack. 60 physical damage over 2 seconds. Do half bonus damage for 3 seconds. Oh, a buff to Bluestone, but also kind of a nerf. Upgraded Bluestone. So Bluestone is actually a poke item now. It's no longer a all-in, I'm going to beat this guy and just one-shot him. This is a poke item now. So Wukong is better with this item now. Is there any poke? Suki's, gods like Suki's are better. Thor, better with this. Actually, I guess Thor has all-in too, but it's way worse for gods like Arthur. Way worse for gods like Cucullin. It's kind of been shifted to being this just damaging the entire enemy team to a poke item. Oh, this could be good. Enemies hit by your damaging abilities are corrupted, taking 250 physical damage over 5 seconds and reducing their attack speed by 10%. Half the bonus damage for the next 3 seconds. Okay, so it's the same thing. This item just gets worse. This item gets better because better for some gods. This item just it does not get better. Because this item relies on you to continually hit people, and the damage gets worse the more you hit people. So, bad item. It's supposed to do one thing. It's supposed to do, you're just supposed to continuously hit people, continuously do more damage, and now it's a poke item. So it doesn't really make too much sense. Sigil Buff. Gain 5 protections for 5 seconds and healing for 1%. This item scales better than any other item in the starter tree. 1% of your max health might not seem like a lot, but if you get hit a lot, this will stack up and you'll actually heal a ton. 5% mitigation whenever you hit an ability, you gain a stack of rebuke. 4% mitigation for 8 seconds and healing 3% of your max health. And this can stack up to 3 times. The problem with this one, once you're this late into the game, there's so many good anti-heal items. You're really not going to be healing that much. Almost everyone's building anti-heal. Ankh is OP. This one's good because nobody's having anti-heal this early. So you're actually getting like a good amount of it's kind of like HP 5. You're just getting like healing every time you're hit. Gods like Robin and Osiris that just want to permanently trade and just permanently fight in the wave Bellona. I wonder if this will threaten like Death's Toll in terms of how you'd want to heal. But yeah, I think this one doesn't really change too much. This one I think actually helps Warding Sigil a lot, especially because MP5 and mana got buffed. So the mana problems with this item are probably not even that bad. Sundering Axe. Increased base health steal from 2 to 4%. Good. The problem with it at 4%, and the reason it was originally nerfed is mages just build it. But with the mages getting their Gemma Focus upgrade, 4% doesn't really seem like that much. But this helps warriors that want to build this. Decrease from 45 to 35. Now the passive is previously found in the Animosity starter. Decrease the damage from 3 to 2.5%. Your basic attacks deal bonus damage equal to 2.5% is magical damage to enemies and structures. It's not bad. Not bad. Heroism, reworked from Animosity. So, this item has no protections. This item is reliant on your health, but gives you no protections. I think it won't matter, but if you compare it to Compassion, why would you ever want to build the old Heroes Axe, whatever you want to call it, or Compassion? It's just, Compassion just completely and utterly outdoes almost every single starter upgrade for supports. And it's one of the best early games. So I think you're still just building Compassion. Oh, guys, we can buy a War Flag.
Okay, it's happening.
Basically, it's now Sentinels that gives you movement speed and attack speed instead of gold, but you get gold from getting assists. Finally, you can build War Flag. However, you're not trolling if you build it now. War Banner, you gain 6 gold per They're doing it. They're doing it. 2% movement speed and 4% attack speed for 8 seconds to nearby allies for 10 seconds when you've gained 4 more stacks from assists once per each time you damage an enemy. And this one's staying good. This one's staying good. They made this one good now too. War Flag might replace Sentinels.
So bust it! So bust it!
Maybe on everyone it might replace Sentinels. I don't think Sentinels was that good in the first place, and this one's giving you just a lot more stuff. So yeah, War Flag might be a lot better. Erendite buff, good. I think Erendite was a little weak. 50% bonus on the damage from the passive. This just seems nice. This seems nice. Aussie's losing 100 gold on the cost, increasing the power by twice as much, 25 to 50. Lifesteal's going from 15 to 20%. Attack speed is going from 25 to 20%, and you no longer have pen. And then at 50%, you get the passive instead of 30%. It's still weirdly statted. You get 50 power instantly, and I think Devs is only 65, and it gives flat pen, and it's 2,300 gold. But this is an instant spike. You're getting more lifesteal, you're getting more attack, or you're getting attack speed, you're getting slightly less power, and you're getting a threshold where you get extra physical lifesteal, which is going to be good to walk away, go to a camp, and heal up. I think Aussie probably replaces Devs as your lifesteal item, because I think Devs is also just pretty weak as a first item rush. Aussie seems like it'll be a good item. Adeline's bow, give it more power. 2,500 to 2,400, nice. Power's up 10, I mean, that's okay. Attack speed's up 5, whatever. Removed the lifesteal, removed the crit chance, and gave it 10% pen. I think this item just stinks. This should be probably 50 power. What? This item offered too much of anything. This item was terrible, and it's still bad. Where would you build this? Last item? So if you think about it, you need to build it with pen elsewhere. So you need to have it paired with like a Dom or a Silver Branch or maybe Xe. All it is power, attack speed, and then I think it's movement speed and attack speed on kills. Point blank period, this item stinks. All the other like ADC items like Demon Blade and a couple of the other ones got nice buffs. The Boomerang one too. This one just gets like moved to the side as another just item. Maybe Silver Branch Adas, because once you get a kill, I mean, even then you're waiting for a kill. Like it's just weak. Like you build it like 4th, 5th item and you're getting 10% pen. Like the 10% pen is fine, but it just doesn't make sense. Bloodforge. What is this? What is this? Bloodforge is 75 power for 2,600 gold and 7% movement speed. I just said items based on kills are not very good. However, this item is like the pentakill item. And like gods like assassins that are diving in, I see no reason why this item will not be built on nearly, maybe not. Its slight problem is it has no pen, which is tough because a lot of items you need to go pen or you need something that increases your damage a lot. But I think 75 power is enough power that not getting pen or not getting extra damage elsewhere isn't that much of a downside. I think Merc's build goes back to Bloodforge instead of Serrated. Crusher, big shift for Crusher. Power's up 15, attack speed's up 5, 10 to 10 physical, flat damage on the passive, increased physical power scaling from 20 to 40% on the passive. This item is insane. This item is like a Soul Reaver, but it's not true damage. Uller, Chiron, Neath, AMC. This is probably AMC's best item now. Guys, we just nerfed AMC and he's back, baby. He's back, baby. Let's go. The return.
Not the bear!
Oh, I knew it. I knew it was too good to be true with all the tank buffs. Here it is. Here's where it starts. This item is sick. Wait, this item is sick now. This item definitely competes with Silver Branch now. On gods that you're not getting to the cap of Silver Branch, this item is probably the best. So I think, unless I'm mistaken, Dom passive doesn't affect the cap. So unless I'm wrong, with Dom, your autos can be doing 60% extra damage while having attack speed. Gods like Rama, Artemis, Izza are going to shred. Because I think you pair this with Silver Branch. Maybe you're building Adas just because it gives pen. I can't think of the other percent pen items other than Titan's Bane. Dawn might be back. Assassins too with this item. Like Kali, dude, Kali with this item. Merc, maybe. Arachne. This is gonna be fun to play. This is gonna be fun to play with. Devs. Oh, and Devs is probably dead. This probably just completes it. Aussie is just better now. Emperor's Armor. It's weird. Increasing the cost is probably a good way to hit it because it was just so good at its cost. You could just rush this item. But if you really wanted to play around towers, there is no reason for this 250 gold to change it that much. And towers are also slightly weaker. So you'll have to like kind of see how this plays out. This could go either way where it's still OP and still absolutely broken, or this is just absolutely useless and you're just wasting gold. Mail of Renewal. Cost is down. Health is up 100. HP 5 is up 5. I guess. Sodom is just going to get left behind. Sodom is just going to get left behind. You're cutting 60% of your protections off for a little bit of HP 5 and a little bit of health. And I guess a cost reduction. I don't know. This item isn't that bad. But if you think about all the other items that got buffed and then you compare it to Thebes, this item is really only good until they start getting anti-heal online. Once they get anti-heal out online, it's just bad again. I think this is not too good. All right, Midgard. That's a nice buff. Midgard, I think, has stepped into a spot where it's actually viable. 50 physical protections is not bad. Onis. Decreased health. 4% damage mitigation on the passive. It used to be 9. It's 12 now. I think Bulwark is 12%, right? 12% of your health. I think this item is just better than Bulwark now. I think Onis is better than Bulwark. I think if you're trying to build to be as tanky as possible, Onis cost, I think, puts it up over Bulwark. Bulwark got removed too. So never mind. Yeah, this item is just by itself as a standalone perma tank item. So Rage. Rage? Is Rage going to be decent? 30 to 35. Okay, so now it's the best crit item as soon as you buy it. Big. Critical strike chance per stack from 3 to 2.5. Get power per stack. Max stacks from 5 to 4. That's good. That is actually really good. That is really good. Not on hunters, but Mercury now. Unfortunately, crit is also really good right now. Or crit reduction, spectral, stuff like that. But like Merc with this item, rod cost is, yeah, nice. Not bad. Probably still not viable because it doesn't give enough power, but an increase to rod. Silver Branch, 20% to 10%. And it's dead. Silver Branch is dead. Get it out of here. Now it's just Dom. Fear the Magus. Change from 10 physical to 10 magical pen. The other magical pen items are like Ob, Mirrodin, Rod, Typhons. An item with power, lifesteal, and percent pen that also increases your damage. And its cost is 2550. Typhons is like 2800. I don't know. I feel like the lifesteal is just out of place on this item. If it gave like cooldown, I mean, cooldown's already on the other item, the Deso one. I think it's still just worse. If you compare it to like Mirrodin or Rod, I think they're still just better items if you want to do more damage. This one's now just late game focused. Maybe you could go it early, like Karen's coin into this, and then you have some good stats. But the lifesteal just feels like a wasted stat on this item because the only gods that are building this are gods that want the lifesteal, like Anubis. So like Anubis, maybe Hebo are better. I mean, I guess this is a nice Hebo buff, to be fair. Sphinx's Bobble. Cost reduction, power increase, magical power increase. This is probably the biggest point. Not bad. Bobble's probably not the worst item in the game anymore. If I'm comparing this to Mirrodin, I would rather have Mirrodin. And if you go your stacking item / your power item, your percent pen item, your Reaver, your Poly, and then you need a survivability item, there's really no room for Magus. So it's basically either this or Mirrodin. Okay. So the class bonuses, Warriors now get cooldown. Assassins get physical pen, flat pen. Mages get power. Guardians get CCR, and Hunters get increased damage on their basic attacks. Scales from 100% at level 1 to 110% at level 20. This is supposed to be lower. This is supposed to be a lower number, but I guess that they just didn't like that. Base magical protect. They changed it. This is probably the biggest change to mages in the entire patch. This is the biggest change to mages in the entire patch right here. Because now this is 10 less magical protections. So now if you have 2 flat pen items, or if you get 3 flat pen items, you can actually do true damage to other squishies. But you're forced into going 3. If you go 2, you'll be doing still a lot more damage. But this is probably the best change to the to mages this patch. Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind. They get an extra point. I mean, it's still not bad. But instead of, I mean, I think this would have just been fine. But they're just giving them extra protections per level. I mean, mages will do slightly more damage early game. Decrease basic attack power by 5 on all hunters. So this, okay. So instead of doing this and reverting or bringing this down, they're just removing or lowering the basic attack power on hunters. So Ishtar. Strike shot, decreased bonus damage from 14 to 10. Why does this have bonus damage? Blades of Retribution, increased damage reduction on subsequent sword hits from 30 to 40%. The problem isn't that this item does too much damage. The problem is it's just very good in 1v1s, very good in team fights, very good in scuffles, very good in 2v2s, very good in 1v1s, very good to peel for yourself. Ishtar, still top 2 hunter. Her or Cern, whichever one you think is better. Lance nerf. Piercing thrust does 10% less damage scaled, and ground joust does 30 base damage less early game. This close. I don't know. I think this character is still pretty good. I think it's just too easy. I think it's just too easy for the amount of damage he has in his kit. If you like play him once or twice, you'll understand how to play him and how to just one-shot with him. So Thor, decreased physical power hit on each of the... Okay. So Thor gets a slight cost reduction on his ult. Slightly less chance of one hitting. Vulcan. Ooh, 10% less scaling on backfire and cooldown. 8 seconds now early game. So Vulcan's going to actually farm a lot slower. This is a pretty big nerf. I think he'd live if this was it, but his backfire going from 8 to 6 is really big. 1 second at every level is a lot. He cannot farm like he used to. Achilles buff. Lane minions... Oh, dude, I do not want Achilles to clear faster. That's like the one thing that keeps him balanced is he doesn't clear well. Oh, and his 2 gets a lower cooldown. Oh, jeez. Maybe I'm reading into this too much. Achilles might be sick. Achilles might be sick. Like, his one thing that he trades well, he's safe, he's good, he scales. Now he has clear. The one thing he used to not have. Maybe you max this ability 2 now. Getting extra damage into it makes it you clear faster. Maybe it's matchup dependent now. Maybe you don't just automatically level your 3. All right, Artemis, traps. Number of traps Artemis can have on the battleground from 3 to 4. Not bad. Her poke is actually up 10, and it's... Okay, I mean... It's pretty nothing. This might be something, but this is pretty nothing. I mean, this is a good poke tool. I don't know. I don't think this fixes Artemis's inability to get to late game and being like a viable hunter. Like if you compare her to Ishtar, if you compare her to Cern, if you compare her to like the top tiers, even Cupid, Dan's, I think they just are better early game. They're not, well, in Cern and Ishtar's case, I think they're actually still better late game. And then I think Dan's and Cupid's mid game just still is just better. Bacchus. They did it! Bacchus heals! Bacchus 1 heals. Dude, I have been asking for this for so long. Bacchus is actually a solo laner. No troll. Bacchus is a solo laner. Bacchus is a solo laner. This is actually perfect. This is actually perfect. Bacca. I think this actually makes Bacca like a better solo laner than it does jungler. Like him getting his abilities up faster means he trades faster. And like the only time you really spam abilities is when you are fighting constantly, which is really only solo laner. This doesn't really do anything to help him jungle clear, or it doesn't really help him farming better. It helps him fight better, and he fights in solo lane, doesn't fight in jungle. And then 30% means gods that can't really get out of it, he'll do like a lot better into. Fender buff. Nah, no way. Fender now gets 25 increased attack speed at all ranks in addition to the other effects for his 2. And then he gets 2 protections per level while brutalizing. I think Fender is actually busted. Fender's actually busted now. Hachiman. Basic damage on his 2. And physical power scaling on his 2. Woo! Okay. Moving on. Hell, Hidden now applies 10% magical protection. So now a Hell that's ahead is going to be even more frustrating to play against. And a Hell that's behind is going to be more annoying to play against. Oh, I hate this character. Herc. Driving Strike now does 100 damage at level 1. And he gets 25% attack speed with his 3. And the cooldown is down 2 seconds. What the absolute F word is that? What the heck is that? It doesn't seem all right. Hunbots. Nothing. King Arthur. Basic attack damage on the hamstring. Battle Stomp does extra damage too. Twin Cleave does protection reduction from 14 to 20%. Herx gets some buffs. With his nerfs, he gets some buffs. Not bad. Kuzenbo. Scaling attack speed. And a cooldown from 16 to 14. Kuzenbo gets slightly better. But I don't think it's very much. Kumba. Oh, you get your useless passive up. Actually, a lot more quicker, but it's still useless. But it makes him like a nuisance even more now. And Groggy Strike cripples. Huh. Kumba might be a little bit of a threat now. He might be like a little bit of a threat. Maybe. Morgan Le Fay. Power scaling on the initial hit from 30 to 40. Power on the damage dealt per mark. She gets 5 marks. So this is actually 15% increase here and 10% here. Morgan, slightly better late game. Not bad. Nike.
Just Do it!
15 base damage on her jump, and her cooldown is up every 90 seconds now instead of 100. This is kind of useless. Maybe, I guess it's okay. But she's just a safer god, and she can kind of engage and fight a little bit more often. I don't think it really helps her that much. Oleron's crits damage now does 1.5 instead of a 1.3, which is actually a nice buff. I think it might help him enough that he's played again, but I don't know. Cirquette buff is useless. This character needs a rework. I'll be honest. She might be the most in need of a rework character, even more than Kumba. Her kit just doesn't work anymore. It's too old. She doesn't work full damage, and they've kind of gutted her as a tank. So she is, I think, pretty much dead. Scotty, 1 HP every 5 seconds, 1 HP every 4 seconds. Piercing Cold is on a 12-second cooldown. Winter's Grasp has some burst now. That's pretty nice, I guess. I guess it's not that much damage, but this is pretty good and this is pretty good. It allows her to fight a little bit more. Sobek, Sickening Strike is up 10 damage. Wow. Lurking in the Waters. Oh my goodness. Lurking in the Waters is actually pretty threatening now. The slow is going to be hard to get out of. The protections, he's getting 20% extra. I still don't think this helps him a ton, but maybe. Vamana. Here as 50%. I think this is actually not a bad buff because no longer has healing means you don't get the Onk downgrade. Lifesteal's 30%, which is actually pretty high. They are autoing for like, we'll say 200. You're healing for 60, which is pretty good. And then your shield is doubled. He's still onkable though because of his shield. And then you don't want him to lifesteal as much. But I think this is actually a nice Vamana buff. X-Ball buff. This now ability now provides X-Ball with attack speed. That is kind of sick. X-Ball now gets his attack speed when he ults also. This is just all the numbers. But I mean, this is going to be exciting to play through. There are so many changes. Like I can't even say like my favorite or anything like that because there's so much to go through and so much to test. But I'm super excited for this next season. I hope you guys are also. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.